In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to find a manufacturer. In this video, I'm going to be talking about different types of manufacturers, how to find one, and what to ask when you find a good one. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is different types of manufacturers. I narrowed the list down to 4 most popular manufacturers that people usually use, and that is the most popular as well. I put the list on this on purpose, the worst being the first and the best being the last. And obviously the second best, third best, whatever. The first thing I'm going to go over is DIY, which is basically do it yourself. Technically speaking, you're still making the product yourself, so in my opinion, it does count as a manufacturer. You would basically purchase a screen press through Amazon and you would screen print everything yourself. And there's nothing wrong with this, but personally, there's a couple reasons why I don't like this. The first reason is that it takes too much space. Personally, for me, I don't have that much space in where I live, and I don't know where I would put it. And not everybody has a warehouse that they can use as well. The second reason is that it takes too much labor. There's so many other things that you have to do as a clothing brand owner, such as SMS, email, marketing, making videos. The last thing you really need to be doing is making the shirt yourself. The third reason is kind of subjective, but basically every clothing brand owner that I've seen that does everything by themselves, the quality isn't that good. The screen print quality isn't that good either because they're doing it by themselves. They don't know how to do it. As well as the shirt quality, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it's not that great either because they just choose the cheapest option. But this is all my opinion and what I've seen so far, so I might be wrong. And the last reason is not really a reason, but personally for me, if I know for a fact I have a bunch of shirts and I can make the shirts whenever I want, I don't think I'm gonna have motivation to sell out. Compared to if I buy a bulk order from China, I have to sell these shirts out because it's printed already. But I guess that would be a me problem. These are the pros and cons of DIY. Again, this is my opinion, but there's also a lot of pros too, like it's cheaper and you could technically never sell out either because you could just make it. But then again, let's say you get 1,000 orders, you have to do everything by yourself as well. The second type is a local manufacturer, and for this I can't really say much because it would depend on where you live. And for this I can't really say much because I've never dealt with a local manufacturer, but I heard they be taxing a lot. These are the pros and cons, and in my opinion the only pro really is communication. The fact that you can talk to your manufacturer who speaks perfect English, in my opinion, is a very big plus. But as far as quality goes, I think it's pretty similar to like a Pakistan or Chinese manufacturer. I don't think it's anything crazy either. As far as the cons go, I heard they be taxing a lot. I heard they charge a lot as well. I'm not sure if this is a fact, but every clothing brand owner that uses a local manufacturer that I know, they low-key charge a lot for their clothing as well. So I'm not sure if there's a correlation. I genuinely don't know. The third type is a Pakistan manufacturer, and I'm kind of iffy on this one. And the reason is because I've heard a lot of bad things, but I've also heard a lot of good things as well. Most Pakistan manufacturers use Instagram to connect with a lot of clothing brand owners. One thing I know for a fact is that Pakistan manufacturers' prices are cheaper than Chinese manufacturers. That being said, since the prices are cheaper, the quality is usually bad as well. It's not that good. Personally for me, I could tell right away on TikTok if a clothing brand owner is using a Pakistan manufacturer or a Chinese one. The one thing I only like about them really is the puff print that they use. It's really puffy. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just puff. For Chinese manufacturers, they do puff print as well, but it's not as puffy as this. I've also heard a lot of stories of people getting scammed by these manufacturers. In my opinion, the primary reason why that is happening is because most of the communication is done through Instagram, which is not an app like Alibaba. It's not an app for exchanging goods. I've also heard stories where the bulk order smells like cigarettes since they smoke it. I don't know, it's just weird. Another reason why I'm kind of iffy about it is because it's hard to determine whether a Pakistan manufacturer is a good one just by looking at their Instagram. For example, Alibaba has all the statistics in place. I'm gonna show you later, but basically it shows everything, every transaction, how long they've been working, etc, etc. But Instagram does not show that, obviously. These are the pros and cons. You can look over it. The last one is China, which is the one that I use. In my opinion, China is the best type and has the best quality as well. These are the pros and cons. I'm not going to explain too much because Chinese manufacturers are pretty popular and everybody uses it. Now I'm going to explain how to actually find a good manufacturer. For local, I can't say much because it depends on where you live, and for Pakistan manufacturers, I've never used one so I wouldn't know, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty of videos out there. I'm mainly going to be talking about Chinese manufacturers because I'm pretty sure most people are looking for that as well. A lot of people try to find a manufacturer on TikTok. I wouldn't rely too much on TikTok because when I first started, I found a TikTok manufacturer and they messed my shirt up and it wasn't good at all. I would be careful of who I choose. So the first thing you want to do is go on Alibaba, and let's say that I want to find a beanie manufacturer. I would search it up in the search bar and click enter. And when you're looking for a trustable source, you want to see if they're verified, as you can see on the screen right now. And you also want to see how many years they've been doing it. So as you can see, it's 12. A good rule of thumb for me is anything under 3 years, in my opinion, is kind of sus. You also want to look on the right side, which is all the specs that you will need to know to see whether or not a manufacturer is good. As you can see, there's transactions, delivery time, etc, etc. And if everything ticks the box, you want to message them. This is an example of a message that I would send them, which is, what is your MOQ and can I see past projects that you've done with other clothing brands? Personally, for me, I would find 2 to 3 manufacturers in the beginning and get samples from all of them, because I've had a couple manufacturers that messed up my samples and I would have to wait 2 more weeks to find a different manufacturer. And another thing I want to talk about is a manufacturer list. In my opinion, I don't think you should buy a manufacturer list. You have to understand that other people are also buying that same list, which means that the manufacturer is going to charge you more since they have more clients, as well as the processing time is going to take longer since they have so many clients as well. That is ended the video, and because of my last video, a lot of people have been DMing me for mentorship, and although I'm giving out free game, there's so much things that I know. I can't just say everything. Nobody's gonna watch an hour-long video. I have to summarize and condense everything into a short form video. That being said, if you did DM me about mentorship and I didn't respond, I will respond soon. It's just that I've been getting so many DMs that I can't keep up. That is the end of the video. For my next video, I'm going to be talking about blanks, different types of blanks, how much a blank should weigh, a good weight, a good quality, etc, etc.